As the Faversham Fringe segues into its third week, I'm continuing to engage with some of the uber-talented individuals who will be performing in the three Fringe venues until the 26th of October. Today, I'm talking to Richard Pulsford, who will be performing his stand-up spoken word show Yorkshire Dad, Immigrant Mum, in the Guildhall at 5:30 on Saturday the 18th of October. And later, he returns at 8:30 with his show, The Short Joke Teller. Hi, Richard. How are you this morning?
Hello, I'm very good, thank you.
Good. Thanks for joining me. So, what inspired you to create Yorkshire Dad, Immigrant Mum, apart from your parents, that is?
Yes, well, my standard fare is one-liners and puns, and that's the kind of show that I've been doing for a long time. And as I say at the start of the Yorkshire Dad show, I've always felt a little bit envious of comedians that can talk about themselves and aspects about their lives. And I was thinking, well, maybe there's things that I could talk about my own life. I kind of had quite an interesting family background, and that was the inspiration for writing that show, which was a bit more of a challenge than just writing jokes. But it's been an interesting experience just doing the show.
And is this the first time you're going to perform it?
No, I have taken it around various festivals in 2025. So it still feels a little bit of a work in progress. I like to think of it as the show's a work in progress and I'm a work in progress as well, based on what my parents were like and what they've done for me.
I hope that we're all a work in progress, actually, as we go through
Yeah.
life. So, apart from the obvious and avoiding spoilers, what is your stand-up show all about? Where are you going to take your audience?
Yeah, well, I have had this issue about was it a spoken word show or was it a comedy show? And because my background is more of a comedian, I've labeled it as a stand-up show, but it has some rather sort of more serious moments in it without wanting to give any spoilers. But I've tried to make it light-hearted, certainly at the start and at the end. But my childhood wasn't plain sailing, let's say. So there's some things to draw on there from my parents. But it was that sort of contrast between having a dad who was very much down the line Yorkshireman, Englishman, and a mum who was from abroad, and understanding more as I've got older what that was like for them and how that has influenced me, but things that you don't really understand when you're growing up in that environment as a child, because that's all you happen to know. So, but it, as I say, it's been an experience for me because I've delved into family archives and I've got a lot of stuff that I've been able to draw on, including cine films that my dad shot when I was a baby and a bit older as well, and then old photographs and letters. And then I found some audio cassettes that I made as a child, and I can see how, even at that age, when I was quite young, I thought I was a bit of a comedian. So I've incorporated some of that into the show as well, but I don't want to give too much away about what the actual content is.
Good. No, don't.
Yeah.
Let's leave that as a mystery, but it sounds as if it's going to be quite thought-provoking.
Yes, I think so. And as I say, I've tried to make it amusing as well. And I think the whole nostalgia thing is that mixture of amusement and slight incredulity about things, as well as understanding how, things were quite serious. As a parent myself, I understand that mixture of the difficulty of being a dad, but also finding sort of transmitting a bit of love and and so on to your kids as well. So it's trying to understand that from the point of view of me when I was a child.
So obviously, it sounds like quite a personal journey. Do you think there are themes and stories that you're going to tell that will really connect with your Faversham audience?
Well, I'll be honest, not specifically with the Faversham audience. I think, but maybe for Well, I've seen two kind of reactions. One is a lot of older people coming along saying afterwards, "Oh, I can really relate to that," or "Oh, that reminded me of when I was a child." And then some of the younger people have said, "Oh, I didn't realize it was like that in the in the 70s or the 80s," and I found it really fascinating. And so the two different reactions there. So I mean, Faversham audiences, I'm sure, would find the same kind of reactions as anywhere else that I've been taking it around the country.
Right. And it sounds as if you are hoping your audience will laugh, but they're also going to reflect and compare themselves with your upbringing as well, aren't they?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
That's a good summary. Yes.
Grand. So moving over to your next thing, the short joke teller. Sounds self-explanatory. Will it be a laugh a minute or even more frequently?
More frequently, I would hope. There's over 100 jokes in there and some little quips and comments as well. So it should be more than about 2 jokes a minute or something like that. Not really analysed it to that degree. So yeah, short joke teller returns. It's nice, sort of light-hearted stuff, really. I rate it as a 14 plus show, so anyone over the age of 14. It's not too taxing, but you do need to concentrate with the wordplay and the puns. It's quite easy to miss one before I've moved on to the next one. But no, it's all about having a laugh and just enjoying the fun of wordplay and the English language really and jokes.
One thing about punning is you find a new pun almost every day in your life, I imagine.
Yeah, I challenge myself to write something a new joke every day.
Okay.
Uh,
So come on, give it away. What have you written today?
oh my goodness, it's still quite early in the day. Can I get away with that?
You're forgiven. Yesterday's joke or pun.
Oh no, oh my goodness. Well, I'll just give you a couple of jokes that come off the
Okay.
top of my head. So, I turned up to my Taekwondo class this morning, forgetting it was cancelled. I mean, I could have kicked myself. And I was sending a food parcel to my first wife, FedEx. There we go.
Like it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Right. I think that's lovely, actually. So, one man shows must be nerve-wracking, sometimes scary. Have you got a memorable moment you'd like to share when you've been performing?
Um, oh my goodness. I mean, I've been doing it for such a long time. I don't get particularly nervous nowadays, but I do under certain circumstances. So, I mean, a few years ago, I won the UK Pun Championships in Leicester. And so
Congratulations.
that was a particularly highlight for me because I've been trying to win that competition for a number of years. So to actually win it was amazing. But then they booked me in to I don't know if you remember it, Steph's Packed Lunch was like a magazine show on Channel 4 in the daytime. And they booked me onto that show to tell some jokes. Boy, was I nervous before that because it's live TV. It went fine, but it was just yeah. As I say, sometimes I'm not nervous, but on that occasion I was because I was like, "This is going out live. There's no edit button on this one."
But that's interesting because there's no edit button every time you stand on stage, is there?
Yes, but you can adapt to what's going on. I think that's the
Right,
key thing,
right,
and being so I do quite a bit of improv nowadays as well, which has helped me relax a bit and just go off script if you like and feel happy about, if I happen to forget what the next thing is, it's not a big issue because I will get back on track.
right.
If something happens in the room, you can't just ignore it. So, but on live TV, it's just I don't know how many people were watching, but you can't, yeah, you can't edit live in that sense. Yeah.
So obviously you hope you know your audience will laugh after your short joke teller. But what do you hope your audience will take away from your earlier performance of Yorkshire Dad, Immigrant Mum? Is there a lesson to be learned, a thing to think about?
Um, well, I mean, every individual is different, but I would say it's hopefully a nice bit of nostalgia for people. So maybe a bit of a feel-good thing, as that's what nostalgia does, isn't it? Sort of the memories that it evokes and so on.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go for that.
Sounds good enough to me. So, if you like a good bit of nostalgia, a feel-good feeling, then get along and see and listen to Richard's Yorkshire Dad and Immigrant Mum, and then maybe take a beat or two and go and enjoy a laugh, a second, maybe 5 seconds, for his short joke teller returns. The Yorkshire Dad Immigrant Mum is at the Guildhall at 5:30 on Saturday the 18th of October, and the Short Joke Teller is at 8:30 in the Guildhall on Saturday the 18th of October. You can book your tickets at favershamfringe.co.uk/what's-on. And both of these shows, I think, will have you laughing, sometimes tears of joy, and perhaps other emotions too. Thank you, Richard, for talking to Radio Faversham and to the people of Faversham today, and good luck with both the shows.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you at the Fringe.